Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the AEW Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show. You see some of these matches and segments we're going to talk about coming up. As you see right here, John Moxley teams up with his fellow Blackpool Combat Club member Carlio against Rush and Preston Vance. Uh, Preston Vance has something to prove after he feels that John Moxley continues to embarrass him and bleed him, but he wants to make a point as well. He do so tonight in the Texas Tornado. We'll find out. As well as Mark Briscoe is in action. Mark Briscoe, he's in action against Josh Woods. Mark Briscoe said last week him Josh Woods have some sort of history together. And Mark Briscoe, won't believe what going down with Mark Briscoe. We'll talk about it coming up, as well as many more matches, excluding Warlow sits down with good old JR to talk about what's been going on with him, as well as MJF. He's contractually obligated to come to AEW. Plus, two, Brian Cage takes on Jungle Boy Jack Perry in a minute. As well as Heyman Page versus Kip Sabian and the main event, which I should think that should have been the middle of the match. Tony Storm, Ruben Soho, and Dr. Britt Baker. These three women in a match for no apparent reason. We'll get to this and more when the Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Everyone, welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe and scan. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button. Or what wrestling there. Here on the Pro Wrestling Show for the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. All right, AEW Dynamite was a so-so show, but it didn't give you the action leading up to what's going on. They're on the road to AEW, I guess Revolution coming in March. So AEW trying to provide the goods and stuff. So we're gonna start with this. We're gonna start with this segment coming up. John Moxley took with his help with Claudio taking on Rush and Preston Vance. This match was a Texas Tornado match. It was downright ugly to the end. We know that Preston Vance, who used to be 10, wanted some revenge and wanted to bleed Moxley. 10 bleeding, and look at Moxley's forehead. He looks like a crimson mass. But Moxley don't care. All he care about whooping ass and getting some blood. And Moxley went in that match, and he did. You see 10 trying to take out Moxley. For all four guys out in the middle of outside the ring. Some four guys in the middle of the ring. It's a Texas Tornado style match. No tag team style match. The guys just could fight in the ring as is. So and Moxley wanted that. Moxley was looking forward to seeing that. But Moxley paid the price. I say that right now. Bleeding with his own blood. I think Moxley kind of likes that. You can tell Wade in the wings was Heyman Adam Page, who saw that with Moxley. Moxley won his match, but it was the price to pay. But things even got more interesting too when Heyman Adam Page and Moxley and them came out there to confront Page when Page had his match. Moxley issued a challenge to Page that he wants a piece of Page, and he wants a piece of Page the worst way you can think of, imaginable. Well, It's official. Hangman Page will take on Jon Moxley at Revolution in a Texas death match. So Heyman, Moxley has been in a lot of these Texas, like Texas Tornado, Texas death match coming up in a couple weeks. Moxley like being in matches that no holds bar, falls count anywhere, anything goes. He'll get his shot and that opportunity, but he's gonna be leaving out bloody the Crimson Mask. So we're looking forward to seeing that down the road between these two guys. But Moxley was also confronted by Evil Uno, and next week Evil Uno wants to step up and he wants to take on Moxley 1-on-1. So it'll be Moxley versus Evil Uno next week at Dynamite. So we'll get to see that match. But like I said, we'll see. Also, too, Mark Briscoe. He's been making news as like Mark Briscoe on the recent past with his brother Jay. Mark Briscoe getting the feel like getting the sympathetic treatment because his brother death. And even Mark Briscoe, I mean, it's a silver light. The Briscoe brothers were banned to be on AEW TV due to Warner Brothers, but now Warner Brothers have lifted the ban, and now Mark was in action against longtime foe, Ring of Honor, Josh Woods, someone he has history with. Josh and Mark tore down the house. I think Mark Briscoe now being accepted to AEW, and who knows, Mark could become AEW Ring of Honor World Champion someday in the memory of his brother Jay. But Mark won his match over what's his name? Mark done so and doing so that fact that what Mark Briscoe did. And Mark Briscoe doing this for the dedication of his brother. Nothing like sibling love right there. Mark Briscoe did it. And Mark Briscoe paying homage to his brother. But we know this. We'll tell you a little bit later on that Mark Briscoe done something newsworthy. That Mark Briscoe is all elite. So congratulations to Mark. Mark is now all elite. Full circle moment, almost close to a month since his brother's passing. Man, but Mark Briscoe, his brother's watching from above, watching his back, and saying, "You got this." So Mark got this. Mark's going to be the new patriarch of the Briscoe family. Imagine Jay's daughters looking towards Mark as their father figure. So that's a good thing. So, hey. All right. Also, too, Wardlow, the big mighty Wardlow, sat down with Jim Ross. He talked about his father. How his father had stage 4 cancer, and talked about the ponytail, Wardlow, a new look, a new attitude. Wardlow wants to get his hands on some more Joe, saying he told Joe everything is, confined to Joe, and Joe betrayed his trust. Joe calls himself the king of television. So Wardlow sat down with Jim Ross to air his grievances and stuff. Well, we know this. That at AEW Revolution, Joe will defend the TNT championship against Wardlow in a rematch. Wardlow wants his championship back. Or to get so, he has to go through Samoa Joe, who calls himself the king of television. Samoa Joe defends the TNT championship. But we'll just have to wait and see. Sitting down with Jim Ross, you get your air your grievances out, and Jim Ross sit there and listen, and we just have to wait and see. Speaking of sit down interviews, Renee Young, I'm about to say Renee Young, Renee Paquette Young, whatever, Renee Young, sat down with Adam Cole, who she knows quite some time from their backstage era. Renee Young sat down with Adam Cole to air what's going on with him, because he's on the road to recovery and he's not quite there, but he's getting there. Adam Cole looking forward to sitting down and get back in the ring. Adam Cole could be a contender for the world championship. However, that boat might land, so we might have to wait and see on that. But Adam Cole aired his grievances like he wants to get back in the ring and he look forward to get back in the ring sooner rather than later. Speaking of that, world champion MJF was contractually obligated, and he put his hands on Christopher Daniels after Christopher Daniels told him about Daniel Bryan's story during that Ring of Honor heyday back in the early years. Um, MJF didn't want to hear that. He put his hands on Christopher Daniels, who also is kind of like the talent relations boss. Put his hands on him. Why would you put your hands on your boss? MJF doing that armbar, trying to prove a point that he can beat Daniels with that armbar, but it's going to take a lot. After Danielson got his match and Danielson earned his shot against MJF for the world championship, MJF is that a cowardly champion, but only time will tell MJF what he does in the ring. You're going to be doing MJF right here with this move. Trying to make him be a provable world champion, but he's really not. But MJF did that to Bryan Danielson last week to make a point. But he kept saying references about Liv, like what's going on with him and Liv. I'll tell you that right now. MJF trying to be a dastardly, cowardly world champion, but hopefully Bryan Danielson take the championship. But it's kind of like they want to keep the belt on MJF as much as they can, but don't see it. But that's the thing. Either you bring CM Punk back or what. But I said it's a lot going on. But we know MJF will defend the world champion against Daniel Bryan at also too, another match, Jeff Jarrett and the Acclaim took on Jeff Jarrett and Sanjay Dutt. The Acclaim, Billy Gunn, TV champion Orange Cassidy, they won their match. But a lot of people were there supporting Jeff Jarrett. What Jeff Jarrett went through. We'll talk about like I said, Jeff Jarrett lost his dad, Jerry Jarrett, a couple of days ago. As of yesterday, Jerry Jarrett, a legendary promoter from the Memphis era, Jeff Jarrett was continued to wrestle, but many people would have thought, many people excused Jeff Jarrett. He's grieving, but he wanted to come out there and show that he's grieving, but he's gonna be okay. Awesome prayers are with Jeff Jarrett and his family at this time after the passing and the loss of their matriarch Jerry Jarrett. Speaking of that, former AEW Women's Champion Thunder Rosa, she's going to be a Spanish commentator. She's commentating for the Spanish team. Thunder Rosa on the side, off the sidelines, commentating for the Spanish team. Thunder Rosa posted that she's doing okay. So hey, congratulations to Thunder Rosa. Just have to wonder when she come back in action that she gonna have to when the Khan gonna have to do like he should have done with the Elite and CM Punk, get everyone in the room to air their grievances and come to a united front that you can agree or disagree. Speaking of that, Christian attacked Jungle Boy Jack Perry after Jungle Boy Jack Perry had his match against Brian Cage. Jungle Boy Jack Perry won over Cage. That was kind of like a mismatch, but it is what it is. If you talk XP, Miss Jay Briscoe, but it is what it is. Jungle Boy Jack Perry got attacked by Christian, where Christian tried to use that arm and sling and use the umbrella. But, that was to no avail. No avail. So also too, the Elite, the Acclaim, they want the tag team championship back, but they get a chance, an opportunity for it to go, but they're going to be in that fatal four-way. So we see right here, this is the list. It's going to be a fatal four-way for the tag team championships. The winners of the Revolution Tag Team Battle Royal versus the Guns, who are the tag team champions, versus the Acclaim versus the winners of the Casino Tag Royal. What the hell is the Casino Tag Royal? Like a ladder match or something? So we'll have to wait and see on that, how that's going to play out. Also, too, 6-man tag team champions, the Elite, being confronted by Top Flight and AR Fox. They want a shot at the goal once again, as what had happened last week when the Elite did try to win their match. The Elite won their match, but there's more controversy than ever before. So hey, the Elite won last week. So hey, the Elite got to realize they got to put that difference aside if they want to get CM Punk back, but they ain't gonna do that. They're too childish and stuff. But like I said, we have to wait and see on that one. But how that's gonna play out and stuff. Into was this Matt Hardy, Lucky Hackaway, all them this AEW was kind of boring tonight. With really nothing going on. And was this women's action right here? Tony Storm versus Ruby Soho and Dr. Britt Baker. Wasn't no stakes on the line. It was just nothing. It was just, I guess they were trying to see where Ruby Soho's loyalty lies, and Ruby Soho loyalty didn't lie nowhere. But Jamie Hayter and Paige and all them got involved. Ruby Soho won the match, but really wasn't really nothing. Ask me, so hey, was that boring and stuff. So hey. All right, that ends the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. Let's move over to Wrestling Hot Topics. All right, on Wrestling Hot Topics, we lost a lot of people this week. A lot of people. Let's move. Let's see. Montez Ford sent this picture by his wife Bianca Belair as she was walking down aisle with the tasty cakes until Drew McIntyre made a comment saying he needs to go to horny jail. What you expect, Drew? That's his wife. He's going to be horny around her. Just plain and simple. It was just all in great fun and great fashion stuff. Okay. But Montez will be in that match this coming weekend. Elimination Chamber will have that predicted outcome. Should Montez win? We'll have to wait and see. Also, too, WWE going to WrestleMania to have two of the most babyface in years in a match. Even Roman Reigns made a comment on TikTok. We'll talk about that on the Pro Wrestling Show. Predict the outcome this weekend and what's going on. Roman, like I said, Cody and Sammy had that confrontation this week on Raw. It had to be a face-to-face confrontation. It came down to those two men getting over. So just wait and see on that stuff. Also, too, we told you that Mark Briscoe now all elite. So Mark Briscoe now all elite. Making it official, Mark Briscoe signing with all elite wrestling. That makes him both dual RHW and R elite. So congratulations to Mark on that notion. The House of Black keeps sending messages. Will we see the House of Black versus the Elite? It's going to eventually happen down the road. So we're going to have to look waiting forward to seeing that sooner rather than later. So hey. Also, too, Rampage coming your way this week. On Rampage, Ken Omega, the Elite versus AR Fox for the tag team titles and Slam Dunk this week. Red Velvet versus some jobber. Dan Garcia versus Ricky Starks. Dustin Rhodes versus Swerve. John Moxley. It's going to be a Slam Dunk. He next week on Dynamite. The tag team Battle Royal. Who's going to advance? We got a lot of people in that tag team Battle Royal. Probably FTR might not be FTR might be in that Battle Royal sooner rather than later. So hey, I think this was it. So a lot going on this week. So we're gonna end it with really nothing stood out to me, to be honest. Like the only person that stood out was Mark Briscoe that came out there. Mark came out there. So we're gonna leave it with Mark. All right. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestler Show, presents the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, says so long. We'll see you this weekend for the Elimination Chamber. Predict the outcome special. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later.